Surprise! Hello, and today, welcome to another episode from Denzel Mensah's channel, and this time, it's from the greatest cognitive function of all the 8, the most creative, the most innovative, the most inspiring, extroverted intuition, also known as NE. Yes. Hold the applause. You're all far too kind. You're all far too kind. I mean, come on now, guys. I'm shy. I mean, after all, I am the most introverted of the extroverted functions. I'm the most introverted of the extroverted functions. This is not a time to fool around. This is a time to be serious. My name is Extroverted Intuition. And let me tell you something right now. If you think that you'll be able to predict anything that's going to be happening in this video, you are mistaken. No, but seriously, you guys are going to be incredibly mistaken because you can't cage me. I'm a free bird. You won't be able to know anything that's coming up. The only thing that you'll be able to predict is that I'm completely unpredictable. So, with all of that being said, let's get back to the matter at hand. I am the dominant function of the ENFP and the ENTP, the auxiliary function of the INFP and the INTP, the extroverted intuitive tertiary function of the ESTJ and the ESFJ, and finally the inferior function of the ISTJ and the ISFJ. I believe that you've already seen far enough of this preview, so let's go ahead and get started. Shall we begin? Beautiful. Let's go!
Alright everybody, welcome! My name is Extroverted Intuition, just like I already told you. And something that you guys should already know about me from the start is that I don't like boring. In fact, it's very easy for me to have my attention to go to far different places. And so, I'm going to keep you entertained for this whole entire, oh man, I'm gonna keep you entertained for this whole entire video, and it's still gonna be informative. So, all of that being said, let's just jump right into it. Like I already told you guys about the different types that I'm involved in the most, but I don't think I've really gotten a chance to actually describe who I am just yet, and we're gonna get to the facets soon. But before we get to that, I want to make sure to let you guys know that my Siamese twin introverted sensing, boring. I hope that you were able to survive that video from last week. I'm the reason why he's any fun to begin with. He likes to do things consistently, keep the same monotone, read the index card several times.
But as for me, I wing almost everything that I do. You know why? Because you never know what's going to happen next. You never know what's going to happen next. And that's the fun of everything, isn't it? You literally never know what's going to happen. Think about DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled has no idea, maybe a little bit, but he has almost no idea that whenever he gets all of these rappers on the same album and everything, he does not know exactly what's going to come out of it. He just knows that something's going to happen. And that's what I'm about. I know that FE likes to bring people together and, unite and harmony and everything, and that is awesome. Extroverted feeling, give him a round of applause, wouldn't you? But for me, I like to bring people together so I can see what happens. And sometimes that even might mean just chaos. Sometimes I'll be bored and I'm like, hey,
I know that these two people are fighting. I wonder if what would happen if I just brought this topic up, or if I brought these people together here. I just want to see what will happen. Now, of course, I can predict that, yes, a little bit like something bad might happen or something good might happen, something fun might happen, something chaotic might happen, but that's no fun. I am all about exploration. I'm all about innovation. And I gotta admit, I would not be able to be even nearly as innovative as I am if it were not for introverted sensing being so historical and providing a whole bunch of things. As a matter of fact, I look at introverted sensing so much so that I can do everything that he does not do. And so what I mean by that is that if introverted sensing tries to maybe create something for us to all follow, for us to do as a rule thing, a procedure that we have to do it again and over and over. As for me, I don't do it. Oh no, I don't like to do that. Me, instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to listen to the thing and I'm going to do it my own way. And sometimes people will say that it's creative. And it is because I'm a genius. Why would they not be creative? Do you see Kanye West? He's a genius. He even called his documentary Genius, and he didn't even spell it right. Do you think that he didn't know that he didn't spell it right? Of course he knew. He wanted to be different. Who said that you have to spell it that way that was established? Introverted sensing said it. If introverted sensing said it, we don't have to do it. That's how it is. So for me, because I'm a genius, I'll look at everything that introverted sensing does, and then I'll switch it up. I'll change it. I'll be like, okay, that's nice that you've established this thing, but what if I just tweaked it this way? What's the loophole here? I'm always looking for loopholes. Because once I get a loophole, that's exciting. I don't have to do it the way that you established. Who said that people have to be monogamous for the rest of their lives? Who made up these rules? Not me. That was all established by tradition. I go against tradition. And you know what ends up happening? It's the funniest thing. I will go against tradition, and then next thing you know, whatever I've made up now becomes the new tradition. And then I have to run away from that. So introverted sensing is constantly following me. But I'm also constantly looking back at introverted sensing to see what introverted sensing is now establishing so that I can get away from that. So we're kind of like a yin-yang type of dynamic. And honestly speaking, I wouldn't be who I am without introverted sensing. It's almost like Jim and Dwight. What would Jim be without Dwight? I got a little bit depressed there. Anyway, so we about to start talking a little bit about the rest of me as a function. And I'm going to go ahead and go through these facets real quick. That's right, these facets. Please bear with me as I speak. So the facets of extroverted intuition is novelty and the unexplored. Many ideas from one. Brainstorming. Looks in the past to reinvent the wheel. Connections between unrelated ideas. Figures out and answers. Epiphanies while speaking. Gains energy from playing with ideas and possibilities. Looks for the most creative and novel outcomes. Interested in various cultures, lifestyles, ways of living. Enjoys the taboo. Searches for loopholes. Often reports seeing things in words. Tangents and puns. Oh, we love tangents. We sure do. Immersive and imaginative experiences over visceral and realistic experiences. Extrovert intuition is also the king of, oh, I get it. So then this could also mean blank, based on what they have seen before, which is where the SI comes in. And then lastly, it's the alchemy of bringing everything together to see what will happen. So yes, just as I've already stated, I am a function that is all about novelty. Yes, I'm all about being original. I'm all about the many ideas coming from one. You might think a lot about what is the most plausible
thing to happen if you're using introverted intuition. As for me, as an extrovert intuitive, I'm thinking of all the possibilities. Looking at the most plausible thing is very limiting and boring. It's not really creative. You're looking at the realistic thing that's gonna happen. Me, I'm like, well, what if a dinosaur came to the house and then stamped on all of us, and then from there we were able to become daisies, but then somebody became a sunflower, and then we all got jealous of that sunflower, and so then we started to trample the sunflower itself, and then the dinosaur said, hey, stop trampling the sunflower, but then it's like, well, you trampled us first, and then we became daisies, and now we became a sunflower. Are you just jealous? Because, see, I'm going on another tangent. I don't even know what the heck I'm saying. But all in all, I'm really all about just having many ideas, many possibilities. When we think of the multiverse, when we think of all of the different ways that something can happen, all of the different things that could be done from just one thing, all of the different things that can be created, that's me. Did you guys recognize by any chance what I was doing at the beginning? Well, let's go to SI for a little moment because honestly, I can't exist without SI.
Do you guys remember Dee Dee? Ooh, what does this button do?
What does this button do?
That's very much extroverted intuition. I'm always asking, what does this button do? And the buttons might be on a person, especially if I'm an ENTP or an ENFP. I just love to push people's buttons, just to get a reaction, just to see what's gonna happen. Sometimes even ESFJs do this, and even ESTJs. You know, an ESTJ might bring up something very political at the table just to see everything fall apart. And then ESFJs, they might stir up a lot of like gossip and everything just to see, you know, ooh, what's gonna happen? I'm bored. I wanna see these people like, you know, get into a fight or like get into a little argument or whatever like that. I'm mischief. I am a chaos demon. No. Chaos angel. No. A chaos gremlin. Yes, chaos gremlin. I am a chaos gremlin. And what is chaos anyway? Well, let's be quiet before introverted thinking shows up. I'm just going to use my definition. Chaos is pretty much anything that you might not really be able to expect that's going to happen. Everything's just unpredictable. And that is where I thrive. Have you ever heard of improv? I love improv. Yeah. Because in improv, I come up with so many ideas on what to do. Sometimes I even bottleneck, especially if I'm in the dominant position. Usually the auxiliary users like the INFPs and the INTPs, they sometimes can even do a little bit better in improv than those who have it as a dominant position, because the dominant position, they might think of so many ideas that they freeze for a moment. But at the end of the day, we still usually love improv. And it's because in improv, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what's going to happen. It's just all a mystery. And that's what makes it entertaining and fun. That's where we get a lot of the best art, if you really think about it. Because when we have all of these things coming in together, when we think about where everything has been coming from, and when we start thinking like, how can we make things different, you know? Let's think about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, who I believe was an ENFP. I know. Not a very popular opinion, but trust me on this. Steve Jobs, an ENFP, going, you know what? What if we made a phone that was touchscreen and without buttons? And guess what he did? He made a phone that's touchscreen and without buttons. Then he continued to innovate. Next thing you know, all these phones are now touchscreen, eh? And now it's like the new norm. I wonder if he was alive right now, what would he do? Apple's still trying to make some new things too. It's all about innovation. We're not trying to do the same old thing that we used to do. That's boring. Yes, I said it, introverted sensing is. I tell him that all the time. But to shake up and stir things up, that's the fun thing. However, like I said, I still do need introverted sensing a lot of times. Because without introverted sensing, I wouldn't be able to even keep record of all of the genius things that I do. A lot of people who use me as a function, they really actually just forget how they did something the first time, and so then they find another way to do the same thing. And then they find another way to do the same thing. And then another way. Because it's the lack of introverted sensing that they have. And so then people are like, wow, how are you so creative? You just find all of these different ways to get to the same result. And it's like, yeah, I'm so creative. Which, I mean, technically, I am. Because not everybody can just find a different way to get to the same thing all the time. But sometimes it kind of pisses a lot of establishments off, like introverted sensing and stuff like that, because they want me to be able to do things the exact same way that they always do it, and then it's like getting all boring and stale, and then I'm just going to be like, no, I want to do it this way, and why is it even a problem if I'm going to still continue to get all the right things right? But then they're like, no, you have to do it this way because it's the right way to do. We've always done things before, and I'm like, no, I hate it when people always say stuff like, we've always done things like this before, and it's like, come on, bro, let's try to do something a little bit better. Ooh, if you had this on 2 times speed, then you were probably not expecting that, and I told you not to expect things. Man, I don't even know when this video is going to end. Many of you might be wondering why I'm wearing this dashiki. Well, like I said, I like to explore. That includes cultures. Who said that we have to live the way the Americans say that we have to live? When you look all around the world, when you travel as much as I do, you start to see all the different ways that people start to live. And you don't get stuck in this very SI way. Now, the paradox of it is that once you go to another place, I might be like, whoa, this is so novel, but that's their version of SI, because I cannot get away from SI. So in Africa, it's normal to wear something like this. But then if I were to step out here in my dashiki here in America, then all of a sudden people might be looking at me differently because it's not necessarily the SI that's here. Now, I would like to make things very clear for all of you. A lot of people tend to always just see me as rainbows, as donkeys, as anything that might be very fun. Unicorns. But that's not always the case. In actuality, I'm a very intelligent function. I'm not just here to continue to have fun for fun's sake in that type of sense. I am here to experiment. I mean, let's think about Albert Einstein, INTP. If Albert Einstein did not experiment with all the chemicals and equations and stuff that he did, would we be able to have the things that we have today? No, we wouldn't. That's the answer. What about Barnum? At least from The Greatest Showman, I would type him as an ENFP. If Barnum didn't look at all of these people that were considered to be strange and weird, and then bring them all together and create what we call now a circus, a place for chaos and entertainment, would we have such a place? Would we have this tent of entertainment? I think not. I love to look at theories. I love to look at all of the different ways in which we can think, all of the different philosophies. People might think that I'm just very airheaded. I'm not. Sometimes I might even just come across this way just so that I could play with you guys to deceive you into thinking that I'm really not tapped in, when in actuality, I'm more tapped in than all of you guys are. Well, maybe sometimes not as much NI. But NI tends to underestimate me, and then, well, we know how that goes. What I'm trying to say is, there are a lot of people who use me, and they can be very wacky.
They can be very extremely playful and rainbow vomiting on the INTJs and whatnot. But then there are also a lot of people, and sometimes even those same people that I'm just now referring to, who have a very serious intellectual side. And I know that if they made it this far in the video, then they're probably clapping their hands right now. Yes. It's true. It's true. It's true. Because too far and too often, I get pigeonholed as the unserious function. Just because I like fun. No. I am an intellect. I am intelligent. I am not just shallow rainbows. I am that too, but I'm much more than that. I am not just randomness. Without my explorative capabilities, this world would not even be what it is right now. All of you should thank me. And scene. You like that? You like that? Yes, anyway. So, I hope that you've all learned quite about... I hope that you all have learned quite a lot about me today. Whether it be from the things that I was saying or from the things that I was demonstrating. And I hope that you continue to look at all of the different ways in which I come out. Because I'm quite a variety. Lastly, I hope that all of you make sure that you check out DenzelMensah.com. If you check out DenzelMensah.com, you'll be able to discover all of the different types that you might be if you have me as a function you to begin with. And if you're able to find that out, well then you'll be able to continue to use me in a way that's very highly developed. So please go to DenzelMensah.com so that you'll be able to find out from there what type you are and how to develop better as the type that you might be. It'll help a lot. Now, thank you all for watching this video. I'm Jerome Hansen, and I don't think that they're going to understand that reference. But anyway, thanks for watching, and do not forget, you matter. Done.
Ooh, what does this button do? Please, please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it...
Thank you for taking the time to watch that video, and if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It actually really helps out my channel a lot so that more people who actually care about what I want to say can actually find me a lot more easier. Also, if you did enjoy it, then maybe you'll enjoy a lot of my other content as well, so be sure to check out some of my playlists where you'll be able to find a lot of my older videos and older content. And last but not least, if you would like any profiling sessions or coaching sessions, be sure to check out DenzelMensah.com where you'll be able to book me and you'll see the rest of my services. But thanks again and have a great day.